After the Orange County game, you were really proud of your team's fight in terms of conceding the goal and then immediately responding with the two. Having gotten to digest that, is the reaction pretty similar still?
Absolutely. We played a very good game. We trend in the right direction, and again, our mentality has always been that when something happen, you move on to the next, and they responded very well. And also, I think the substitution made a huge difference. Obviously, Charlie is a big player for us. We've missed him, and he came in and he showed. But also, the hard work of Formelo should be highlighted: a goal and 2 assists. After missing a penalty, and be able to score and create 2 chances was beautiful. But everybody worked hard.
On the mentality point, right? The most disappointed, frustrated, whatever word you want to use, I think I've seen you was after Detroit, right? And after you concede those goals late on. When you think back to that game and how your team handled it late on in that one versus how your team handled the final 25 minutes against Orange County, how much growth has there been and how happy are you with that?
Nah, the growth is evident, and that's what I say. Sometimes results blind you in football, but the progress and the process for me never does, because every single day I see them work, and sometimes you have to suffer before you get what you deserve, right? And also it can be a turning point, and the game against Detroit was a turning point in terms of we truly understanding what truly our qualities are, and also understanding that you don't need to be naive in the game of football, right? Because the opportunities was there, and you don't throw away opportunities. But from day one, we started pre-season to where we're now. All of this is through the work, through the mentality, but also through the growth of the individual, but also as a team. And every day we're learning to get better. And like I said before, we're happy, but we're not satisfied, because the season are not won now. Right, but now you put yourself gradually in position to able to achieve your goals, right? We know our objectives are and the goals, so we never stray away from that. But it's a huge curve, which is great, but again, we have still a long way to go.
Yeah, Pop. Hope and
Pop?
mentioned. I said Pa. I said Pa then Hope, so it kind of.
Pop Hope, huh?
Pa Hope,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hope had mentioned that his time with North Texas, when you were also there as well, was important for his development a few minutes ago. How important was it when you came here to kind of have a player that you were already had familiarity with, and how were you able to kind of plug him into his role here at the club?
Of course, as a coach, it's always great to have players that you work with that shows always great character, first of all, because that's the most important thing. And Hope is a tremendous character, a good person, a person that's want to repay the club, but also want to repay the coaches. But for me, it's just being in a position to able to help somebody achieve their goals and dream, which is for him to play at the high level, and help his family. So that's why we coach, and that helps because of with the group that we have, he fits in perfectly with that, and as well as his quality and knowing what he can do on and off the ball. And we still I know he can hit another gear or two.
Over the next year, it's going to be a big opportunity.
Next year? We're still here. We're in June. Next year is far away. It's 6 months to go, brother.
To grow soccer in the U.S. as a whole. Obviously, there's some political issues going on right now. It was announced in the last day or two that at the Club World Cup, the security is going to be ICE agents. Do you have any particular thoughts on those?
Well, obviously, first of all, I'm not a politician, but the things I think human rights, basic human right, is very important, and it's not only about ISIS, but also what is happening around the world, in Palestine, in Africa, around the world. I think it's very important the way the world is going, that we as human beings actually take a step back and realize what we're doing to one another, because it's not right. Right, none of us own this earth. Right, we're born here, and it's our duty to leave this a better place. So when you're going to host a World Cup, obviously you want your country to be in the best possible shape. But also in other way, let's look at it and say, what are we learning from this? Right, let's learn to be human. Right, let's learn to help each other. Because what is happening around the world, not only in America, is not right. What is happening in Palestine is not right. right? So let's not focus on what only football, because football brings us together. It never divide us. Human divide human. So it's very important that we, as a whole, as a human being, understand what we're truly doing to one another. Let's teach, let's educate, let's love. Hate is not the answer. That answer your question?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I guess to go back to your team and your group, I wanted to ask specifically about training. And you're training in the heat right now. You're training from 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. You're working out right now in the heat. Do you think that gives you guys, a stronger base fitness-wise, health-wise, and then you're continuing to train as it gets hotter at the same time?
Why you want to give away a little secrets, man?
Everybody knows it's hot. It's not a secret. Go ahead and share.
No, I'm not going to share the little details what we do. But again, does it have its benefit? Yes, it's the same as being in altitude. So, you gotta use it to your advantage, and that's what we're doing.
And then fitness update within your group, health, pop, Emmy.
Obviously, Remy had his surgery, so Remy is in full recovery. It's good to have him here, and his daughter, beautiful, running around, which is great. Mo obviously will be a while out, and Pop is trending in the right direction. Tico is getting fit, so he get his opportunity also to go to Gold Cup, which is great. Charlie, obviously, Emmy is back, played a couple of minutes, so health-wise, we're happy with where we are.
What is the timeline potentially on Mo?
I'm not a doctor yet, so I don't know what the timeline is,
But you talked to Greg.
Yes, we talked to Greg, and it's going to be a while, but obviously, we got it for Mo, because I think he's a very important player for us. But one thing we know is he's going to come back stronger.
How important then is it to have a player like we ask every week, like Braxton, who can step right in next to a cell and say, "Hey, I played here before and I've done these things"?
Nah, it does just speak of the growth of Brax, who he is as a person, again, and also the quality that he possesses as a football player. And it's still shocking to me that he only received one college offer. That goes, when you talk about US, that goes in about how football are viewed and looked at. But again, that helps us. We're very happy with him. We get to keep him longer. So he's a player that has been an absolute model as an academy player, but also somebody that the group really trust and value, and that speak highly of him. Well, when the group knows that they can count on you and know that you're going to deliver every single time. So for us, it's a dream to work with.
Yeah, Charlie had his first game back after a while on Saturday. Was a super sub. I would categorize him as coming in, being able to score a goal. Speaking on his form, are you still going to kind of bring him off the bench, or will you kind of work him back into the lineup? Like, where are you at right now with Charlie, would you say?
Nah, for us with Charlie is the same that we've done with every player that comes in. We gradually play you in and let you pick your form, because it's not easy. He's been out for 3-4 months, so you have to gradually put him step by step.
What are your thoughts on Carl and his growth this season? As you talk about Mo being out for an extended period of time, and he's stepped in as a center back at times. Yeah. What about him?
Carl, obviously he had a little bit of a rough start to start with, but I think he's picked himself up very well. He's gone back to the Carl that we knew what he can deliver to this club and the work that he can do. And we're very happy with him, because we knew that he could play midfield and we could play center back. So having that versatility was very important to us, and also seeing that JP is doing well in that position. It's also great to have footballing centre back, and he's a footballing centre back, which also helps us when we are building up from the back, and also 1v1s. We know he's very strong at it. So having that versatility amongst the players is huge, and he's stepped up his game. So we're very happy with where he is right now.
You've already played Tulsa twice, but you haven't played Tulsa on the baseball pitch that you're going to play in at the weekend. When you look at how small and how thin that pitch is, and how they play, the direct style, the defensive nature, what kind of challenge does that present to your team?
Great challenge. That's why you play this game. The surface doesn't matter to us. We're there to play a football game. The surface is the same for them as it's going to be for us. So maybe a little bit shorter, whether it's going to be 100 by 68 or 100 by 7, doesn't matter. Right? Our job is to go there, play our way that we know we can play, and hopefully take 3 points.
person in the room? Thanks, Bob.
Marco Segai, Eritrea.
Actually, I'll have a question.
Ooh.
I've just noticed there seems to be this upbeat nature in the training. What was it maybe in your playing days or in your coaching career that kind of allows you to bring that environment out of players where they feel comfortable enough to just sort of express themselves and be themselves out on the training pitch while also focusing on bettering themselves?
We're humans. We're human beings. You're not going to be yourself if I ask you to be somebody you're not, are you? So for us, we just want players, we just want people to be people, right? If you laugh, have joke, serious fun, that's what we call it. We have serious fun. When it's time to work, we work, but also when it's not as serious. It's not a life and death, right? There are people losing their lives every single day. We're nothing special. The special people are the people that are delivering lives or helping to save lives, right? We play football, which is the greatest hobby you can have. So we must cherish it and enjoy it because there's a lot of people that will want to wish to be on our foot. So we just enjoy it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.